Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about the silver thread, the ray of hope, the thing that you grasp onto in dark times. Now, you might not know this, but today is the anniversary of my bounce back after my darkest period in my life. Up until, well, a year yesterday, I was still on the decline. And a year today, thanks to the help of a few friends, I started bouncing back. My decline stopped and I started getting my life back. Of course, it was slow. It was very slow. But the first silver thread offered to me during those dark times was a thread given to me by Pete and Pauline, two friends of mine. And they stopped me nosediving into an endless abyss and helped me just steady myself, stabilise myself at my lowest point. From that point on, I was able to crawl bit by bit back up to a normal life. Now, normality, you could say, started when I moved back into a house, or in this case, this flat. Although it was a long way to go because COVID basically made everything drag out, including the amount of time I spent homeless. Because without that, I would have probably been in a flat in a month. You know, I would have been on a friend's couch for a month, in a flat in a month, and my life would have gone on its merry way. But with COVID, everything took 4 or 5 times long. Even getting my SIA licence, instead of taking 3 days, it took 3 months, right? All because of COVID. So as you can see, and my flat is nowhere near where it should be after a year for the same reason. So I was stuck in a pit for a long time and I had to fight twice as hard than I would expect it to get my life back, get back into my own property, well, my own flat. So yeah, but these threads, these are important. When you're suffering these dark moments in your life, you have to grab every opportunity that comes your way. You have to grab with both hands and hang on for dear life. Now, each thread might not drag you out of the darkness, but it'll pull you a little bit closer to the light. Just a little bit. The more threads you grasp, the quicker you're pulled out of the darkness, back into the light, and you get your life back. So it's important that people who know you throw you a line every now and again. Even if they don't pull you all the way out, they'll pull you a little bit of the way out until eventually you'll be on dry land, you won't be in the darkness anymore, the light will surround you and you'll feel normal. And it happens a little bit at a time. So if you know somebody that's struggling, this isn't having a hard time, throw them a bone, give them a bit of support, because you'd be surprised how little that support needs to be to stop them drowning. Because you'd be surprised exactly how much, support, well, how little it matters. Well, get this right. You'd be surprised how valuable that little bit of support is when you feel everything's hopeless. So you see, these silver threads, they're important to us. Now, one of the things that stops you drowning is the realisation that these dark times can change you. If you're actually in these situations where your past is haunting you, or something that went on is nagging your brain, until that stops, you're going to continue to drown. You're going to continue to disappear into the darkness. You have to stop that. The quickest way of stopping that is to recognise how it's changing you and ask yourself this question: do you want to be the person it's changing you into? Most people will say no, because that person is a vindictive, vengeful, dark character, and it's basically going to keep you falling. It's not a good place. It's a mental health issue waiting to happen. So you need to stop that immediately. You need to try and fight to be yourself, to remain the person you've always been. That's the hardest fight of your life, is not to let the people that made you that way win by changing you into that person you don't want to be. You have to fight to be the person you want to be, the person you know yourself to be, and the person you're proud to be. So when you come out the other side, the person you see in the mirror is the person you recognise as you. That's important. That's the hardest fight you have to face. Everything else, the vengeful thing, the everybody can sod off thing, I'm just going to walk away thing, the cutting yourself thing, all of that, right, you have to reject all of that and say, right, this is me, right, this is who I want to be. I'm going to fight to be myself. Now this gives you an advantage. When you do pop out the other side, you know exactly who you are. Nobody can tell you, you're this, you're that, or disparage you or make you feel bad. You know who you are, you've accepted who you are, and nobody can say anything to you that would make you feel bad about being the person you've chosen to be. Because you not only chose to be that person, you fought hard to be that person. So if someone says you're that person, they're patting you on the back. They're saying, well done. It isn't a disparaging remark, it's a compliment, because you chose to be that person. When they say you are that person, they're pretty much agreeing with you. They might not know that. They might think, yeah, you're a wanker for being that way. But the point is, you chose to be that wanker, right? So when they call you that, they're just confirming you've achieved your objective, so you feel happy about it. But people can't can't knock you over and disparage you when you know who you are and you battle to be that person. If you just chose to be that person without a fight, then you could choose to be someone else without a fight. There'd be no commitment there, in no investment in yourself. But choosing to be yourself, fighting to be yourself, pushing away the dark side just to make sure you win and come out the other side as a recognisable human being that you see in the mirror and you know who it is, that makes all the difference. So when you've got the darkness around you, remember, you grasp onto all them straws, all them silver threads, right? Give them a pull. See how far out of the darkness it'll pull you. But don't let it put you off if you don't get pulled out all the way, because it's a long process. And if you suffer from mental health issues, it's an even longer process. There's no magic bullet to cure the issue, right? You've got to really fight it every single day, and slowly, day by day, things will improve. It says you also need people around you that don't make it worse. If you've got people around you that make it worse, you're just going to go right back into that hole. And the people that are making it better, try not to upset them too much, because they're there to help you. I've been there to help other people in the past, and I've been shit on from a great height whilst helping them. So I know, right, what it's like when you're doing your best for people and they don't appreciate it. So don't make the people helping you feel unappreciated. Now, when I was in my dark place, I had to stop caring about everybody but myself. I literally put myself first. Nobody else's thoughts mattered, just mine. It wasn't a person I liked to be, it was a person I had to be in order to survive. During these dark times, you have to be who you must be to survive. It might not be the person you want to be, but it's what you do. It's the bare minimum you, right? The minimalistic you that you can hang on to without losing yourself. So if you need to be a person you don't really like in order to get through the difficult period, then that's what you've got to be. And as you pull on that thread and you get further and further out of the darkness, more and more of yourself will be restored, providing you fight to keep it. See you in the next one.